Welcome to The Leadership, a business-focused talk show brought to you by the Vested Group.
We talk to entrepreneurs, employees, thought leaders, innovators, dreamers, disruptors,
and even our own children about what makes us tick on and off the clock.
Welcome to this edition of The Leadership Show, brought to you by the Vested Group. You can find out more about us at thevested.com. My name is Hillary Patterson, and I'm here with my co-host, Johnny Zielinski, and we have the good fortune of interviewing Denise Scarpa today. Denise,
How's it going,
how are
Denise?
you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. So we like to kind of start out with how you started out. How did you get involved with TVG? How did you come to find us?
Well, so I had been in the legal world for many years, and I had recently left and became a personal trainer, kind of pursuing a dream of mine. And I got this client named Joel Patterson one time, and after getting to know him just a few months, he was already in my ear like, you need to come work for me. Like, we have this great culture, you would fit right in with our culture, and you need to come work for me. And so he kind of kept at me and like, well, what if, maybe you could be a consultant, and I'm not computer savvy like that. So I'm like, I don't know about that, but we eventually figured it out, and I am there at the Vested Group as an executive assistant to one of the managing directors.
Awesome. Love all the background stories.
I know, exactly.
All right, so tell us a little bit about your family. It can be siblings, parents, and like kind of where you grew up.
So I actually grew up in Plano. My family was one of the founding families in Plano. We are the Hedgecoxes. We have a road there. We have an elementary school that's named after my great-great-grandfather, I believe.
I didn't know that. I used to take that road to work
I
every day.
didn't know that either. What?
Cool.
Yeah,
okay.
we're like Plano royalty. We just don't have the money like some other Plano families
Used
have.
to be,
but
yeah.
So, but yeah, we have a very long history in Plano and in Texas.
That's awesome.
So tell us a little bit about what you do at the Vested Group.
So I do a little bit of everything. I kind of have my hand in all kinds of stuff. But right now, being an executive assistant to John Mack, one of the managing directors underneath Joel, I do a little bit of everything. I do a lot of stuff in NetSuite for our delivery team. I create projects and allocate resources and keep those updated. Let's see, what else do I assign cases out for our support team and make sure those are being taken care of, and just all kinds of stuff. I'm all over the place.
I do all the better at computers than you realized you were, because that's a lot of NetSuite.
Yes, I mean, don't ask me to write code or anything crazy, but I definitely can find my way around a computer, and it's only occasionally I really have to ask, a very technical question. So
fair enough.
How would your, mom or dad describe what you do?
So it's funny because I asked my husband this. I'm like, how would you describe what I do? And he goes, I don't know. You just do all the things. You're like the glue. And I don't know. My mom probably wouldn't have an answer to that. I don't know that she even really knows. We've never really talked about it.
I think it's because we ask this question in this line of interviews that I went home and asked my parents. I'm like, what do you think I do for a living? Because I don't think I've ever put them on the spot like that. So why do you come to work, Denise? What gets you going in the morning, makes you come into the office and be a part of this?
Well, other than the fact that I do like to eat, so there's a paycheck there. It's the people that we work with for sure. There's, like Joel was telling me for 2 years, the culture, and it's so true. Like, we have a unique blend of individuals, different cultures, different races, but everybody genuinely is friendly and likes each other, and we all get along really, really well. So it's just a fun place to work. It really is. There's a lot of laughing, So
That's good. So going a little way back, what did you want to be when you were a kid?
I wanted to be a marine biologist. I've always had this love affair with the ocean and everything in it, and I wanted to be a marine biologist so bad. So I've taken that, since I obviously didn't go that route, and I'm a scuba diver. So now I kind of get to go and see it without all the hard sciencey stuff.
How did the Plano girl wind up being an ocean lover?
We're so close to the
I know, I was going to say, that's a drive.
Yeah.
Get the sea of traffic right out here in 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so what's your favorite workplace tradition? I know we kind of talked about this earlier.
So TVG has two really awesome traditions that no other place does. And one of them is because Joel Patterson is a huge baseball fan, and being from Texas, you got to go with the Texas Rangers. So Texas Rangers opening day, we get that day off, or at least half the day off. We close down, we watch the game, we have food, and sometimes we even go to the game. Like, that is really a lot of fun. And then the other one would be the Texas Fair Day. As a Texas girl, like, you go to the state fair, like, that's the thing to do. So the fair day is a lot of fun.
What do you get at the state fairs, like a food item that you love? Anything in
All of
particular?
them do. I'm trying to think of the time that you and I were walking around together.
I feel like we got corn dogs.
You got to get a corn dog.
Funnel cake. I mean, that's a given.
Funnel cake. The turkey legs are really good.
Absolutely.
And what I found here lately is the Mexican street corn in the cup.
Oh,
yeah, that's
cup.
good.
Oh,
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to corn, and I will still eat that.
Wow.
You know
That's
that.
a commitment.
Okay.
Ooh, now we know how to accidentally kill Johnny.
I'll just actually just be uncomfortable for a while.
Oh, exactly. Maybe kill us, actually. So what do you wish people knew about you?
This is also another thing I was talking to my husband about, and he couldn't come up with anything that I could say on camera, so he was just being goofy. So,
Well, I'm going to have to vote for the hedge cooks thing, because we didn't know that, and I think more people should,
Oh,
should know
okay.
that. That's pretty good. That's pretty interesting.
That is awesome.
Fact, yeah.
Yeah. But what were you going to say? What did you come up with?
I came up with that. I'm not as high maintenance as I look.
I can see that. Yeah, actually.
Even my husband agrees, so it's
Yeah?
really a thing. I'm really not as high maintenance as I may appear to be.
That's funny. I guess I don't think of you as high maintenance. Pretty easy to work with. Yeah, that's true.
I get it. When I first met you, I kind of saw you, and I was like, okay, Denise, here she is, all razzle-dazzled up, and I get it. You're pretty
But
laid
really,
back.
I don't put a lot of, there's really not a lot of effort there. I can really, from start to finish, be done in like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive.
That is
Yeah,
impressive.
Yeah.
Teach my girlfriend how to do that. What do you enjoy doing when you're not at work, Denise?
well, when I can, I like to go scuba diving.
Yeah.
For sure. We have some friends that have a lake house, so we go out to the lake house with them a lot and just kind of hang out there. So just hanging with friends and just being with family. Hanging out on our back porch, watching TV, and my husband has the big green egg, so we do a lot of grilling and stuff like that. So we're just always outside. Always outside.
Awesome.
I've been lucky with good weather this fall so
Seriously.
far.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is also supposed to be like 70, so it's going to be like sunny and 70s. So
Yeah,
it'll be nice.
that's awesome. Okay, so kind of a lead in from that too, hanging out with family and friends. What's the funniest thing that's happened to you lately?
Gosh, the funniest thing.
It's kind of tough. We're all stuck at home a lot lately, but
No. I mean, so I don't know. I can't think of anything like silly funny. The last major crazy thing was when we were in Mexico getting married a year ago, September, and we're on this tiny island called Isla Mujeres, and your mode of transportation is predominantly golf carts. And my husband was driving the golf cart and got pulled over, and he had literally like one sip of alcohol, and the cops smelled it by making him blow in his hands.
Oh, gross.
That's their breathalyzer. Blow. And so because of that, we had to follow the police officer to this little teeny tiny.
But you had to drive the golf cart
Yes,
farther.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And we had to go to this little rundown police station, and he was in there for a little bit, where we had to pay money to get out.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. But what was funny is like they wouldn't let me go into the police station. They made me stay at the golf cart. And he goes in there, and they just like lock him in a room, like big metal door.
Ooh, like the
small
old
room. And he
fashioned.
was like, oh gosh, like
Prison Mike.
this just got real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, $250 later,
That's
he got out, and it was like 30 minutes. But yeah, it was all about the
It was
shake
funny.
down.
You could laugh about it later. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I was fussing about how much it was going to cost, and our wedding was literally the next day, and my husband was like, "Okay, you got to stop. Do you want me at the wedding? Like, stop. Like, they're letting us out of here for $250. Just pay it."
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
For those of you in our audience, if you're thinking about drunk driving a golf cart, it'll cost
Why
you
the drunk?
30 minutes
Yes.
and $250. Don't do it.
Actually,
yeah,
not
the
that bad.
higher
Yeah.
you blow on the breathalyzer there, the more you pay.
But that
Because
was
he
it.
just barely registered, so that was.
So also,
But that is that the register in this one?
no.
Oh, it was
When
a
we
real.
got to
Oh, okay. I was like, wow. How did they?
No, when we got to the police station, they had a real one.
Oh,
okay.
okay. So you
Yeah.
smell it from like 6 inches away. It costs
I know.
250 from a foot away.
Yeah, exactly.
400.
Yeah.
It's like, that's right. Sensitive training right there.
All right. Well, this next question, you wouldn't have to worry about that ever again in terms of money, because you walk outside the office today and you find a lottery ticket worth $15 million. And all that money is yours. What are you doing with it?
Definitely not telling my kids I have it.
Okay. Wow.
Definitely not going to tell my kids. I would, after you do all the smart things like go see an accountant and, you know, set it up in a trust and all that kind of stuff, I would definitely do something fun with it, and I would probably buy a beach house somewhere
That would be perfect.
to go.
yes.
Someplace that has really good scuba diving, and I would become a dive master because that's a dream of mine. So
I'm surprised you're not a dive master already. What do you have left to do for that?
you actually have to take the course. So I have my advanced certification and my rescue certification. So next step is dive master. But there's a lot of interning and stuff you have to do with dive shops, and so it's a little more detailed and time consuming. So,
Yeah,
but I'll get it
makes
done.
You'd want somebody really good to do that, so that makes sense.
And you really need to have some dives under your belt. So I'm still a fairly new diver, but I just got my 85th dive in August in
wow.
St. Croix. So
A new is 85. What's an experienced diver have?
hundreds.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. I guess that makes sense. But
I mean, every dive trip
85
you go
seems
on,
like a lot.
yeah, you can get 12 to 20 dives depending on how long your dive trip is and how many times you go out. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Oh, that is interesting. So if you had to pick one song to be your intro music every time you walked into a room, every room, for the rest of your life, what would you pick?
Well, so I have a song that I've always kind of called it my theme song, and it's "I'm Still Standing" by Elton John. Because it's kind of about overcoming, and you know, like you knock me down, I'm still here, I'm still standing.
Yep.
So
Fires you up a little
Catchy,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, and it's got a catchy little tune.
That's a good
If
one.
you remember the video from the '80s, it's pretty funny too.
Oh, okay. Ooh, it's a stretch. I don't know what I
See if we
do.
can link that.
A lot of MTV back then, though.
Yeah.
All right, final question. If you were our CEO tomorrow, you get Joel's job, what's the first thing that you would do, Denise?
Oh gosh, this is one that I really haven't thought about.
Really thought about it?
No. What would I do? What would I do? Oh, I know. Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
I would buy a beach house and let everybody go use it on like take a week a year and go to the beach house.
You hear that, Joel?
Wow.
In addition
Yeah.
to Rough Creek, we want a beach house.
I mean,
Yeah.
while we're at
He
it.
told me one time when I was training him that one of his dreams is to own a beach bar. So
Oh,
there
Yes.
you go.
so kind of
So
coincides
it's not
with his
so
dream.
far fetched.
That's true. That
I
is
like
true.
it.
Yeah.
Denise, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
It's
Thanks
been
for
awesome having
having
you.
me.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys for joining us. You can find out more about who we are at thevested.com or see more of our interviews at YouTube and just search The Vested Group. Thanks, and see you next time.
Thanks. Yep, that was great.